What's going on, everybody? Welcome. This is Whistlekick Martial Arts Radio. And today, Andrew and I are talking about rank systems and the fact that they're not equivalent. And maybe people need to stop worrying about it so much. Stick around. It's going to be a great conversation. Of course, if you're watching, you can see us. Hello. Andrew Adams here. On my left, I'm Jeremy LESNIAK, founder of Whistlekick, and we do what we do because we love the traditional martial arts. And if you want to see all the things that we do, go to whistlekick.com. You're going to find a ton of stuff over there, including our store. It's one of the ways we pay the bills. Look at this expensive set we have here. It's very expensive.
Great set dressing.
Look at the plant.
We have plants.
We have plants now.
It's not a fern, though.
It's not. And there's only one between two avocados.
Maybe.
Go to whistlekick.com. You probably won't find anything as humorous as this, but there are other things over there. And if you use the code podcast15, you can save 15%. Get yourself a hat, maybe a hoodie. There's all kinds of cool stuff over there. Now, if you want to go deeper on the show, whistlekickmartialartsradio.com. That's where you're going to head for that. Every episode we've ever made available for free. You get transcripts, other show notes, links, photos, videos, you name it. It's over there. If there's a particular episode that you really enjoyed and you want to go back to it and learn more about the guest or the topic, that's where you want to go. You can sign up for a newsletter. And if you really want to support us, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/whistlekick. There we go. Bring you exclusive content. Depending on the tier you're at, you're getting more and more and more. And people rarely stop their contributions, which tells us we're doing something right. Okay, let's dig in.
All right.
The genesis for this was this not one my idea?
Yep.
This one was my idea. And it came from my frustration, people complaining about other people's rank.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Blah, blah, this must be a McDojo because they gave this rank to this person under these conditions. Blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So what?
Heard it all the time.
Why does that necessarily make the school bad? Why is hypothetical person complaining's definition of X rank, and usually this comes up with black belt, but I've seen it with every rank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a person's not a green belt. They didn't do this, or they only do this, or this time. Why does that matter? Why does what you put in for your black belt being different than what I put in for my black belt have any impact on me?
It shouldn't at all. That's the ultimate answer. It should have no bearing whatsoever. And I think it all stems from, what does the black belt mean within a school, right? To me, my answer is they've quote, I hate to use the word mastered, but like they've got a strong foundation in the basics for that school. Everyone's school is going to have different basics or different amount of them, or
and define understanding is different.
Correct, absolutely. It's all different.
On the show, we often come back to the analogy that a black belt, or the equivalent rank in systems that don't do a black belt, is kind of like a bachelor's degree, like a 4-year degree, university, college sort of a thing. A lot of martial arts schools take roughly 4 years to earn a black belt. It's not a bad analogy. I've never heard someone from Yale complain that somebody else has a bachelor's degree from Phoenix University online, right? Like, I think we would all imagine that a Yale education would probably be more rigorous, would probably carry more weight in the world.
Perhaps.
But at the end of the day, the piece of paper is going to say that the degree is the same. And it's probably no mistake that we use degrees in academics: bachelor's degree, associate's degree, first degree, second degree, black belt.
Hadn't thought of that. Yeah, interesting.
I just thought of it right now.
Wow.
But did you like how I
that was
it
good.
Out,
just came off the dome.
Like it's something I've thought about for. Oh yeah, there are no notes on this episode. we're just rolling with it. But it's a subject I've thought about a lot. It's a subject that really other people's perceptions really frustrate me, because it seems like they're dedicating their time. They're making excuses to not train. how do I present this in a way that will never get back to the person? Somebody I know, like, and respect, both for their personality and their skill as
Mhm.
a martial artist, has individuals in their organization that hold rank that if I look at it through my perspective, my lens,
Mhm.
are utterly ridiculous. They are not even remotely equivalent. And what I mean is people with far less time under their belt, significantly younger,
Mhm.
like they could be my kids. Like if we really push the biology, could be my grandkids outranking me.
Mhm.
So what? How does that change my life? It doesn't.
No, it doesn't, and it doesn't change your training at
It,
all.
it shouldn't. I think what we run into, this is kind of a notch down from that standard uh, egocentric instructor. Almost, it's become a cliche on the show. We talk about it so much. I feel like this is a lighter, lower version of that.
Mhm. Yep.
That
Yep.
someone defines who they are and who they are as a martial artist so strongly by their rank that if someone else seems to threaten their position of their rank, they fall apart.
Which is absurd when
It
you think about it.
is.
It's
It
absurd.
really is.
You know, it. I the only time that okay, let me back up.
Sure.
Every school is different.
Yep.
Even within an organization, schools can be
Absolutely.
different. And
Oh,
I,
but they should have been.
yeah,
But
yeah,
they are. It's
yeah,
just
they are.
people are different.
Yep.
It's going to be different.
Um, all the rank system is used for is to determine where one particular student is in relation to the other students in their school. And I think that's where people have a problem and they get hung up on.
Mhm.
It's within their school. I mean, at a particular school, should someone who is a black belt or equivalent thereof, should their stuff look better than a yellow belt or a green belt? Well, yeah, you would expect that to be the
Generally
case.
speaking,
Yeah,
there may be some odd exceptions,
yeah,
physical limitations and whatnot.
yeah, exactly.
But as a general guide,
But I would say even in that case, that black belt will understand the material better than the lower
yes.
rank for sure. It is unrealistic for me to then say to that black belt and compare it to another black belt on another school who trains in something totally different,
Mhm.
totally different set of expectations from the school, um, different set of material being learned.
Mhm.
It's totally, totally different. And so the fact that people take such umbrage with someone, ooh, that's a good word. Ooh,
Keep going.
take such umbrage with this other school, who cares? You do your own thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what everyone else is doing. My stepdaughter is in the fourth grade, and they are often told in class, "You just deal with your own stuff. Don't worry about what the other kids are doing." And Tommy is throwing his pencil on the floor. Well, just ignore him. You deal with your own stuff.
If I have a fixed amount of time, energy, money in my life at any given point, which I do, right? Then certain limitations. I mean, maybe I can sleep a little less, but right, there's a fixed amount of all three of those. Why am I going to spend any of it on somebody else who does not have any impact on my life? It is an utter waste of time.
Yep.
Every minute or ounce of energy, I guess calorie of energy, watts of energy, dollar that I spend on some person on the other side of the world doing something with their training whom I will never meet, never train with, and is unlikely to have any amount of influence on my life in any way, it is a waste.
Mhm.
And I would go so far as to say a foolish expenditure. Let's go back to the academic analogy.
Mhm.
You've been in classes,
Yeah.
academic classes. I've been in academic classes. I bet somewhere along the way we took the same class.
Mhm. Yeah, that's
some kind of writing class. Maybe it even had the same, 101, 102, whatever designation.
yeah, yeah.
I took calculus, it was a math, whatever, it wasn't quite a 101 level class, but consecutive numbers.
Yep.
I guarantee you I can find a school that had a full year of calculus with those same numbers and a completely different curriculum, guaranteed a better instructor. But why? Why does it matter?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Okay. Now let's try to flip this on its head to be a little more empathetic to the people who we've been beating up this whole time, because there are a lot of people out there who may agree with us, but are still finding a visceral reaction. They're finding some emotion in there. And they may say, Andrew, Jeremy, I hear what you're saying. I understand, but I don't feel like your grouping of all this as an ego response is necessarily accurate.
Okay.
Now, I would say that there may be some people in that group who just don't realize that's what's going on. But we have been taught culturally, socially, within our schools to treasure rank, to treasure our black belt, to the point where it was only a few years ago I learned that the American karate tradition of not washing your belt is not something done universally in karate. Okay. Forget about where it came from. It's irrelevant. The fact that we have had tunnel vision on rank, we have convinced the rest of the world that a black belt is something that is standardized. We lament, and they quit just before they earned their black belt. Oh, I earned my black belt and then I dropped out, right? Like, we use it as a line of demarcation in our martial arts. We have done it for a long time. We continue to do it in our schools and out in the world in pop culture. How else can we expect people to react if this is what we're going to do?
That makes a good point. I hadn't thought about that. You're right. We very clearly have a demarcation at that time in someone's training.
Everything is termed before or after.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the numbers, the gups, the cues, depending on what system you're in, or it's degrees of black belt. So here's what I would say. There's a box around you and your training that you have control over. If you have longer arms, you can extend the box, right? We can. I want to make a movie about a mime who's a martial artist.
But he's stuck in a box.
No, like he's just like he's miming, and then he's like, "Come on!" That's for another time.
Okay, sorry. That was my fault.
We're both in a mood. Like you got here in like a normal mood, and I've been in like a distracted, weird mood, and I pulled you over the line.
It's okay.
I pulled you over the black belt line. I can't control what another school's doing. If I can't control it, it doesn't affect me. And let's be honest, it may work for them. Why is my definition of black belt right? Why is it right? Everything else we talk about on this show, it's not necessarily right. It is what it is. So instead of trying to make everybody else like you, let's celebrate the differences.
Yeah. Why try and make everyone fit into your box? Everyone has their own box.
There are people who will resonate better with a school where rank is more difficult. There are people who will resonate better where rank is less difficult. And I will always come back to my belief that any training is better than no training. And that any school that keeps people training in a safe-ish, healthy-ish, mutually beneficial environment is a good thing.
I would agree.
Okay. Anything else we should add?
No, I think we could probably delve further into this maybe in another episode.
We could.
Maybe next week. And
if somebody wants to tackle this, if you have feedback, if you have stuff, let us know. One of the things I hear offhanded, I get emails
Mhm.
Probably get emails, Facebook messages. I like this episode. I like this. We don't get a lot of the healthy criticism that we
Yeah.
used to. And I honestly, like, I miss it. I like it. So let's take this opportunity to invite healthy criticism if you have a different perspective. Because let's face it, a lot of the things I believe have come from working those things out in past episodes of the show.
Yeah.
And if you look at something differently, I want to know what that is. It doesn't mean that I'm going to change your mind or you're going to change my mind. That's not the point.
Yeah.
If you and I spar, the point is not for me to win or for you to win. The point is for us to collaborate
Mutually grow.
physically and get better.
Yeah.
So why can't we extend that philosophy to our discussion? We can, we should, and I hope people watching or listening.
Yeah. Healthy criticism is good, and it promotes discussion, which then promotes more thinking about stuff.
All I've ever asked is that people think.
Yep. And I suspect this episode is being recorded before the episode before it is going to come out.
Mhm.
We may have some feedback after last week's episode.
Cool.
We will see.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
All right. If you want to get in touch with us, Andrew at whistlekickmartialartsradio.com, Jeremy at whistlekick.com. All of our social media is at whistlekick. We've got books on Amazon. We've got stuff in the store. We've got the patreon.com/whistlekick. We've got programs at whistlekickprograms.com. Do you want to get stronger? Do you want to get faster? Do you want to be better conditioned? Do you want to get more flexible? Go check those out, whistlekickprograms.com. Sign up for the newsletter. There's stuff all over the place. If you're not paying attention to all the things, it's probably because you have a life. I don't. So that's why we do all of these things that we do, to make sure that there's at least some aspect of what we do that resonates for you. And if you appreciate that, your support in any way, reviews, whatever, is appreciated. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Until next time, train
Train
hard,
hard,
smile, and have a great day.